Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie, and today I'm going to be talking about the brand new YANO bundle of eye brushes from Beautylish, which is these brushes right here. There's 5 in the set, and the reason that I got these is because I was really intrigued by these two specific brushes. They're just super tapered, and I've never seen anything like this. This is the brush 07 and 06. 06 is actually much larger than I imagine. I don't know, I couldn't really tell on their website, which I wish they had kind of shown a little bit better, like what kind of sizes these are. But I was really curious to try them out, especially this one now that I have it. So I'll be using them in today's video to create this look, and I'll also show you how each of these brushes look just next to my eye. And I do have hooded eyes, so I have a huge preference to very small, precise brushes, just really get up in the crease, and that's why I was really curious about this brush specifically, is just really getting up in the crease and then trying out some of the other brushes. And so this will be a first impressions for sure, so just definitely take this with a grain of salt. I'm just trying these out for the second time on my eyes, and these brushes are the softest brushes I've ever touched in my entire life. That they're extremely soft. It doesn't even feel like they're really touching my lid when I'm blending with them, which is just crazy. They're just absolutely beautiful, and because they are natural hair brushes, they're very delicate. You do not want to treat them like you treat your even goat hair brushes, but especially not how you would treat synthetic brushes. Those definitely can withstand a little bit more usage and just roughness. So please by no means use a color switch with these brushes. It will just absolutely ruin them. And I know what you're thinking, that you've been using a color switch with your other natural hair brushes, and they're fine, but trust me, long-term wise, they will break off the tips, and you just do not want that. I highly recommend Tina from the Fancy Faces video on how to properly wash natural hair brushes. So to avoid having to wash these frequently, use a microfiber cloth, something that's very soft and gentle, and just wiping the brushes on this. And trust me, your natural hair brushes will thank you and last you much longer. So I just wanted to put that out there because I have learned the hard way, and I have some brushes that I've definitely ruined by using the color switch because I just didn't know any better. So now let's get into some comparisons between other brands like Rephr, Wayne Goss, and Sonia G, and then I'll show you each of these next to my eye, and then I'll use them to create this eye look. So first up are some pencil brushes compared to the new YANO 10 brush. So that's this one right here. Then right here is a Sigma E30 pencil brush, and then the Rephr 03, and then Units 201 lastly down here. So you can see Rephr's the smallest. Then I would say, well, Units is definitely small, but it's longer. And then Sigma E30 is a bit more tapered, but definitely a little wider, a little bit shorter than the Units. And then the number 10 is definitely the largest, but it's got a real taper to it. Next up we have the brush 09, which is a smaller of the blending brushes, but it is flatter on the side, so just taking them straight on. So next to it is Worker Pro, which is from Sonia G, then Wayne Goss 18, and then Rephr 01 all the way at the end. So you can see there's definitely similarities, especially between Worker Pro and the 9. I would say they're very similar in size, and number 9 is probably a little bit longer when you really compare. Yeah, it's longer, but they're very similar. So let's put them on the side. So this is them on the side. Obviously this one is brand new, so it's gonna look the slimmest, but very close to the Sonia G brush. And then this one just a little bit more fluffed out, but they are also a bit wider. Next up, we have quite a bit of a bundle of brushes to compare to the 08 brush from Beautylish. So we have Wayne Goss number 04. This is this one. Then we have 17 from Wayne Goss. Blender Pro from Sonia G, right here, right in the center. Hakuhodo B142 Pro from Sonia G, and number 15 from Rephr. So obviously you can see this one is definitely much bigger, so I'm going to take that one off. But out of all of these, I would say that the 08 brush is probably closest to the Sonia G Blender Pro, which is right here, and even to Wayne Goss 17. But this one is just a little bit thinner and a bit more pointed, so not exactly the same. I'm going to take that one out. But I would say these three are probably the closest. These ones are definitely a bit longer, just a little bit skinnier. And then this one just very much tapered, very short and squat. So I would say these are the closest. So we have Hakuhodo 142, Blender Pro from Sonia G, Wayne Goss 17, and then the Beautylish brush last over here. Just to show you the detail of the brush. So I love that it's kind of like cut off on an angle at the end. It's really unique, really cool. Very just beautiful and sleek. Then you have the YANO series by Beautylish on this side, and then brush 07, so the brush number on the other side, a little higher up, and this is the top. So brush 06 in comparison to my lid. So this brush, it says it's perfect sweeping eyeshadow in the crease all over the lid. It is multi-purpose and it can be used to set concealer with powder or to highlight and contour your features. Next up is this brush 7, and this one is a smaller version of the 6, and it's still got that taper in it, but it is just a little bit smaller. This brush is said to reach deep into the crease and define and add dimension with ease, or to pull color across the entire lid. Try it for pinpoint highlighting and contouring. Brush 8, which is, I would say, a medium to larger sized blending brush, like a domed blending brush. This one is obviously for blending. Next up is brush number 9, and this is another blending brush. This one is smaller, but it has also got a flat side to it. This brush is said to have a flat silhouette with a gently rounded tip that softens harsh lines and edges in just a few strokes. Use it to blend, shade the curves of the socket, or lay down color for more intensity. Lastly is number 10, and this is a pencil brush. This is definitely a little bit on the larger side for a pencil brush that I'm used to. And this one is described to have a precise and exquisitely soft bristles that won't irritate delicate eyes. Glide it along the lash line or gently smudge your eyeliner to add a smoked out effect to any eye look. But I thought I would do somewhat of a neutral look just so that you can really just see how easily it does an easy eye versus like trying to do anything too intricate. For this video, obviously this is a first impression, I'm just trying these out. So I'm going to be using the Melt Cosmetics 27 palette. It's been a while since I used this palette, so I thought it would be nice to dip back into it, just get a refresher on the formula of this one, even though it is a little bit older. But it is a really nice neutral palette, and I'm priming my lid with the Be Perfect eyeshadow primer. And for this primer, I do like to wait for it to set a bit. So I'm gonna go in with brush number 8 first and just pop that right in the crease. So I do like so far that while this is a larger blending brush, especially for hooded eyes, I do feel like I can like really get up in there and it just blends so effortlessly. I mean, you just saw how quickly that blended it out. So I'm gonna put on a little bit more and kind of slowly build it outwards a little bit higher. It feels like I'm honestly blending with air. It's just super soft. If you wanted to do a prank on someone and apply eyeshadow on them while they're sleeping, you could totally get away with that with these brushes. They're so insanely soft. You are not getting any wrinkles with these, that's for sure. And then, so I've, for a long time, not been a fan of a brush like this. This is the 06, and this has like a flat side and then like a fluffy top, like as a blender. And I know a lot of people use it to put eyeshadow in the crease and then put it on its edge to blend it out, and that's just not my preferred technique. However, I have recently fallen more in love with these because I do like using them on the outer corner to pack on some color here and then use it to blend it out and sweep it out. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to go into Moonchild. And I'm gonna pack that on the outer edge here. Just pretty much wipe that brush on my microphone, which is great. And just using that to feather out the edges. And that was in like what? That was literally less than like 20 seconds, I feel like, that I just did that. Just amazing. A little bit on the larger side. I would love to see like a smaller version of this one as well. But yeah, you could totally take it. Let's just do that. Let's take a little bit more of it and let's put it on its side kind of. And just get up in the crease and deepen up that crease a little bit. Bring it up a little higher so we got that nice depth in there. And then for the lower lash line to connect it, I'm using the pencil brush. This one's definitely on the larger side. This one is very much on the larger side when it comes to pencil brushes, and you can kind of see it. However, if you kind of push it in, it does like to kind of condense itself. So it is nice, and then when you take it across this way and just use the tip basically, then also you can get that precision. So overall, really nice, extremely soft. Like this will not irritate your under eye. I have definitely had some very scratchy similar pencil brushes that have just been really like cringy to use under my lash line. And then there is no brush to apply like a metallic on the lid. You could probably use the 09 brush, but I wonder if it would be possibly too fluffy. So I'm just gonna use my finger. So I'm just putting Crime Fighter on my lid, just kind of packing it on. Not using any sort of glitter primer or anything, just really want this to be a really nice, neutral, easy look. So here we are with this side, and on this other side, I'm gonna do the same look, but I'm actually gonna use the 07 brush, which is the pointy, smaller brush, and see how this applies in the crease if I were to start with this versus the other blender. So I do already have eye primer on, so going in with Nip Slip like I mentioned, and I did accidentally just flip it over. It's just like, do you see how it's just so funny? It kind of like trails behind the little tip. And I do feel like this is just a great like precision brush. Is this probably the best brush to start off with when you're just trying to get in the crease? Not sure. I feel like this would be a great, like for example, I'm used to going like this. Do you see how the tip's like kind of going upwards? So yeah, I don't love that brush for this part. So I'm gonna go to this brush and blend out the crease instead. Don't want to mess it up anymore, but I will be using it to deepen up that crease like I did on the other eye. So just going back in and blending it with this regular brush. And obviously kind of just going all over, not really trying to be too precise here. So I'm gonna go in with the pencil brush this time and pack it on here, on the outer corner here. And then I'm gonna see if I can just like pull it out kind of like with the other brush. You can do blending, but it's different because the blending is very focused just like right here on the tip of it. So you're almost like wiggling it in that same spot. So it's not going to move like too much like compared to if you were to use like a larger blending brush. So I think that worked nicely. That did, I feel like, take a little bit more effort with this, but it is really nice otherwise. I feel like I definitely got more precision with this, blending it out this way and working slowly versus the other brush just kind of swooping it out. And then of course, going back in and doing the same thing as on the other eye and connecting my lower lash line with that brown. I don't know if you can see, but I was able to kind of, this one is a little bit more rounder, I would say, and this one is just a little bit more precise, and that's just kind of the look I was able to get. And of course I could match them up and I could just go back in with this fluffy brush and just go run it around the edges and kind of feather it out a little bit more there. I feel like it's kind of sticking down over here. So I'm going to take the 07 brush and just on the very tip of it take some Moonchild, and we're gonna pull this into the crease and see just how much we can. Yeah, this is definitely a lot more precise to get in the crease in there, but about the same kind of effect as the 09. I think you could definitely do this easily with the other brush. So I think that this brush is going to take some getting used to for me. It's super just unique. I've never seen anything like it, and I love the concept of it. It just, when I saw it, I was like, this is so unique and potentially like really amazing for getting like up in there. I'm just gonna put the shimmer on my lid while I'm talking, but now that I have it, I feel like it's a little bit trickier, so I definitely need to play with it more. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. So here's the finished look. I threw on some lashes and a wig, and the lashes are Allura Light by House of Lashes. So I do just want to reiterate, this is a first impressions. This is only my second time using these brushes, and I feel like usually I know exactly how I feel about a brush because I'll just know. I'll see the size and I'll put it, you know, near my eye and I'll know if it's too big or not, which is exactly how I feel about the 06. Definitely too large. I do like it for the highlighter, so I'm definitely going to use it for highlighter, especially because it's so soft. It's just really pleasant, but I will probably not be using it for a contour anytime soon. Didn't love that. I feel like I need to see Alicia from Kinky Sweat use these and show me how to use them properly, because I definitely feel like there's a bit of a learning curve with that one. It's such a unique shape. And then these other three brushes are pretty much, I would say, say very much like standard kind of shape. There's nothing specifically unique about them. They are just very, very soft, and they do feel super high quality. So there's nothing really like I need to learn with those. Those are definitely inside my comfort zone. The 08 brush, which is the fluffy blending brush, I do really like it. It's almost too big for my hooded eye preferences, but it's really great and just beautifully soft and blends like a dream right in the crease. And so the brush I'm mostly just like not sure about is the 07, which is a smaller version of the 06 that I use for the contour and highlight. And this one, it's just, this one's gonna take some getting used to for sure. I really love the taper on it, but it's just like a little bit flimsy, as you saw. It just really likes to wiggle back and forth. And I'm used to using kind of back and forth motions as well as circular motions when I blend. So it just feels a little bit unnatural to do that with this, because it will just kind of like flick out. And so I feel like I need to try this one more, but it is really great for just getting in that crease. But I would hate for that to be its only purpose, kind of for this price especially. So I really need to try this one more, but I do really like the other three. So I will be trying these out a lot more in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll do a much more in-depth review and just my thoughts on these after using them for a while, because this is definitely not enough. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's already a bunch of different eyeshadow brush reviews up on my channel, and there's definitely much more coming. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.